So by making that structural change, we drove out 90% of the costs that we had of the actual transaction at the teller window. That's what I'm referring to. It's a structural change, not simply kind of squeezing, more people in the line. It's not that. It's actually how do you think about your business in a way that profoundly changes the way you actually organize your work and accomplish it. And can you imagine what it did for the transaction costs of the clients who now no longer had to go to the heart of the city or wherever it was that the development bank had its office, but could actually be in their neighborhood transacting. Huge, huge impact. So these are the sorts of areas that we believe are critical for working in and addressing in terms of reducing costs. And you can see here access to identity accounts, distribution channels, branchless banking, mobile phones, smart cards, and institutional partnerships. We'll talk a little bit about this now. One of the things we've come to understand is that payment systems may be a pretty key driver to access and an on-ramp to other financial services. I'm not really sure, how much deep impact there is because somebody can now pay their loan or get some financial services in their neighborhood. We're not really clear yet how deep that impact is. But what we're pretty clear about from the evidence from WOCU and DID and some of the other organizations that have been doing some work on building transactions capacity is that it's sort of an on-ramp to the use of a broader suite of financial services. When people come to pay something that they couldn't pay in, previously, they open a savings account. They make use of other financial services as they're starting to get to know the financial institution. So what seems crystal clear is that building out a payments infrastructure is actually a first way to get people engaged with the financial system at all. And it seems to be sort of an on-ramp. And you see for each of the different systems, different kinds of main products, the payment system actually brings benefits to savings, to insurance, to money transfers, to credit. So basically, we think that this is a very powerful place for this community to start to invest its resources in understanding and developing payment services. Now, one of the things that's kind of interesting about this is, this is a pretty commercial proposition, right? Most of us are not in our philanthropic space trying to figure out how to build payment systems. That seems to be something that belongs to the business community, right? I mean, that's not really our business. But when you think about how those systems are being built, are they actually being built with our kinds of clients in mind? In India, what are there? 600 local languages. Is the system being built in a way that's sensitive or connected to local languages? Many of the households of our kinds of clients only speak local languages, don't speak Hindi or don't speak the sort of regional trade language. Are these services being set up in a way that are actually friendly and located in the kinds of communities where our people are? Brazil has gone down this road quite a bit. You've probably seen this sort of chart, some other sort of presentation. This looks at the total number of payments. Brazil undertook a big expansion of points of service in an attempt to connect every single municipality in the country to the financial system. They built about 90,000